Here's another great way to spend some time in the workshop. This plant stand is a simple project for the beginner or the advanced woodworker. It's made from pressure-treated southern pine to withstand the elements or just the occasional overflow from watering. 3 tiers provide plenty of room for all your favorite plants, plus a little extra storage for plant food or other supplies. Now the plans call for this to be made from 1x8s, but I changed that up just a little bit to give it more of a mission style look. I used 5/4 inch deck boards. They're a little bit thicker than 1x material and a little bit thinner than 2x material. Basically, they are the perfect in between. I started by sanding them smooth with a belt sander. Then cut the rounded edge and adjusted the saw so the width would match the thickness of the boards, in this case about 15/16 of an inch. To make each side, you'll need 4 pieces 33 5/8 inches long, 4 pieces at 17 1/4 inches, and 4 pieces at 7 1/4 inches long. These uprights are held together with stringers. I cut these from a scrap of 2x8 about 2 feet long with a table saw set at 3/4 of an inch. You can use stock 1x2s if you don't want to resaw the thicker boards. The longest of the stringers is 20 inches, the medium length is 13, and the shortest of the stringers measures 6 inches long. I've cut them a little long just to make it a little easier to assemble. Now once all the stringers and the uprights are cut for the side, it's time to lay them out and fasten them together. I've started by clamping a straight edge to one end of the workbench and one of my long uprights to the edge. Now we want to make sure this is perpendicular because everything is going to be measured off of this first upright. So I'm using a square just to make sure we're good, and we are. Now, to get the proper spacing, using just a piece of that 3/4 inch thick stock, we're going to use this just to roughly space out all of the uprights. Doesn't have to be perfect at this point. We're going to add some glue later. We're just going to go ahead and lay the spacer out and then butt each piece up to it. Then we'll get the stapler out and staple everything together. To attach the stringers, I like to use 1-inch staples. Finish nails will work too, but just be sure to put a couple at each connection point. The bottom 2 stringers should align with the tops of the uprights. The top stringers should be 4.5 inches from the top of the tall uprights. Now once all the stringers are attached, be sure to let the glue dry for several hours, and of course you'll need a second side that is a mirror of the first one you built. With the 2 sides complete, it's time to add the shelves. On our finished piece, I use 1x8 pressure-treated southern pine. Now if you'd prefer, or if you can't find 1x8 pressure treated, just use 1x4s. Cut them to 3 feet long. Now we're going to use these for our middle and our bottom shelves. Now our top shelf is going to be just a little bit narrower, so we'll measure for that coming up. But use clamps in the meantime to hold the shelves in place while you drill pilot holes and install the screws. On the bottom, you can add an extra shelf cut to fit between the ends. This will provide some extra storage space for plant food and other necessities. To keep the whole shelf from racking or moving side to side, we're going to add a simple brace system to the back. We start by measuring and marking the center of the top shelf on the back of the unit. Then use a piece of wood cut from the deck board at a diagonal. Mark the top and bottom and cut the angles. Make a second brace in the same manner. Drill pilot holes and install screws to hold them in place. Now, if you find that the weight of your plants is causing any of your shelves to sag, you can either get some lighter plants or you can cut a simple brace just like this. Now, this is just like one of the uprights. You'd attach it to the back of the middle shelf and through the top of the top shelf here. That'll support this shelf. You can do the same thing underneath the front. The plans also call for some rounded design elements. You can create these on our modified design simply by drawing the curve and using a jigsaw to cut the uprights at the top and along the bottom edges. If you decide to paint your stand, be sure to use a good quality primer and finish coat designed to withstand moisture. Like I said, it's a simple project, just take you a few hours to complete and you can enjoy it for years to come. Thanks for watching, and remember, RealOutdoorLiving.com for more great projects just like this one. Wood, it's real.